Hello, welcome back to this series on music philosophy and society and all those interesting subjects nobody cares about. This week, I wanted to talk about a subject that really concerns all musicians and really all content creators for that purpose. And it's the content curation through algorithms. So, the main question I want to answer is there space for musicians or artists in this world of content curation through algorithms where there's is not much of a human now recommending you content through a whatever magazine, through a video, or through a TV channel or whatever. But it's an automatic algorithm. So to answer this question, we need to first determine like what do these algorithms do, and we're all pretty familiarized with this. The first thing they do is they privilege immediate and prolonged engagement, meaning things you can click and keep engaged on. Think about like YouTube, like if you keep watching a video, we'll probably present you more videos of that sort. Um, and the second thing they do is they curate or present you with content that you might like, that it's in the vicinity of things you already like or things that you're interested or things that your particular demographic might be interested. So depending on the data points, they'll figure out what to give you and figure out what to keep presenting you after that. And we're all more or less familiarized with it. It's pretty transparent. So there's a few consequences with this form of curating content, and I think they're not necessarily bad. They're just different, and they are a double-edged sword. The first one I can think about is that it's really positive. It's like you get more engaging content. Like, what could be wrong about that? Like, it's more engaging, it's more entertaining. You spend more time of it. Maybe you're getting more out of it. At least from a superficial point of view, it seems to be a good thing. But I don't think it's exactly the case, and I'm going to explain why. One of the reasons I think this is not so positive is that in this scheme, content creators or artists are incentivized to maximize your engagement and your click rate, basically. And that limits the form and the content of what they can present to you. And this changes a dynamic that has been and still exists today, in which an artist has a captive audience for a lapse of time, meaning not captive literally, but when somebody goes to a concert or goes to a theater, they provide the artist with a certain lapse of time in which the artist can do their thing. And this no longer exists because people can just click away right away. There's no incentive to put any effort into what they're consuming. I want to illustrate this with an example. When you go to a concert or to a movie, or you spend money on a ticket, spend time to get there. Maybe you organized with your friends so that you can go to a venue. You made an investment, and this means that you're not going to leave after the first sign of boredom or the first thing you don't understand about the play or whatever it is you're watching. You're gonna want to get your money's worth, and that's a good thing because you're giving the artist some wiggle room to push your boundaries, to try different things that you might in other content just click away from. And if artists are tasteful enough and they are masterful enough, they will push your boundaries without alienating you. You won't step outside the movie theater or step outside the concert saying, this is bullshit, I don't want to see this. Like, if you think about your life and all the concerts you have gone to, you probably maybe left one or two, but that generally doesn't happen, right? And an example of this is a video I watched on YouTube a few weeks ago, in which they were trying to explain content creators how to engage their audience. And one of the things that they would say in the video is, you need to give your audience something novel, something new, every 20 seconds to keep them engaged. And I was thinking like to myself, well, that's great advice. And they probably know this with data to back it up, right? But this is a limitation for an artist. Like, you are basically forcing them to give their audience a dopamine hit every 20 seconds. You're constraining the form of what they're doing. You're constraining how they deliver the message. and by extension, what message they can deliver. Like, you can't communicate something really profound artistically if you need to give people dopamine hits every 20 seconds. So I think it's detrimental for the art because it limits it. Another positive aspect of the algorithmically curated content, wow, that was a mouthful, is that you need to not spend so much time looking for content. Like, you just get bombarded with it, right? And it's usually in the vicinity of your interests and what you might already like. And why is that bad thing? Like, you don't need to go to a record store and go through CDs or albums or whatever the format of your time is, and waste all that time and maybe buy one and not liking it later. You just get fed things that you'll probably like or at least not dislike. I think this is detrimental for artists in particular and for their evolution, in the sense that they can't deviate too much from what they already do if they want to keep an audience. This is not new, of course. Bands, big artists in the past have always catered to their market or their niche audience. But I think in the age of algorithms in curation, this logic of catering to an audience and define what you're about has reached even small content creators that are now forced into a commercial dynamic, even though they don't probably make money from it. So everyone is competing for attention, and everyone seems to be selling something today in the art world, even though they probably don't make money out of it. And this is a fine marketing strategy. It comes from the world of business, of course, and it's probably necessary to achieve success in numbers, but it comes at a cost. I think as an artist, you lose a freedom of expression. Even if you're a small creator and you have like 20 people watching your videos, like I probably do right now, I need to more or less define what these videos are about, and I can't start talking, about whatever subject that's not related to music philosophy because you're expecting it right now, right? And as an artist, also, you are constrained in the possibility of evolving and at the same time keeping your identity. Artists, as times goes by, they evolve and they want to try different things. But sometimes if they are already married to one style or one type of content, it might be difficult, especially in this time where people can just click away right away, for them to push their own boundaries. So in that sense, the artist as well loses an opportunity for growth. But not only the artist, also the audience, because when you follow an artist you admire, you give them a little more wiggle room as well for them to try new things. And you will not just throw away their album or leave if you don't like it. Just the fact that they have a name allows them to push you a little further, So I think both the artist loses and the audience loses by this mechanism. So I guess as a conclusion, it's not something very positive. It's really hard to thrive as an artist, as a music artist, in an environment like this that is very hostile to transformation. And I think the main consequence is that artists push to become more entertainment and less art. Like, everyone is selling something in social media and in the platforms, and even if they don't make actual money from it. So it's like a loss of artistic freedom, even though there's no money involved, there's no contracts. It's something super absurd, but it's the reality. So I guess it is what it is. So in a more positive note, what is the role of artist or music art in this day and age of algorithmic content? I think that in a way, the role of art is outside these platforms, is to engage the audience directly and expose these platforms of mass disinformation in a way, maybe using them as well, using the algorithm to resist the algorithm, so to speak. That can be done inside the platforms and outside the platforms. So I would encourage artists to think about ways of using this to your artistic advantage, and also explore mediums that are not dependent on these algorithms. Hope you like the video. I really enjoyed discussing this subject, and leave comments below if you're interested. Subscribe to the channel, do all that thing that we're supposed to do, because I'm selling. See you next time.